Tragic news from Adamawa State, where families are grieving after Boko Haram insurgents launched a deadly attack on Madagali local government area, this time striking the hometown village of Adamawa State Governor Adamu Umaru Fintiri. The assault occurred late on Tuesday night, around midnight, leaving at least 18 to 27 people dead, with dozens more affected. Among those killed was a cousin of the governor of Fintiri himself. Several houses were touched during the attack, and many residents fled to nearby villages for safety.
They came into our community and pretended to be military personnel. Shortly after, some followed on motorbikes and started shooting.
We need strong gun because these people, they have a strong gun, and our boys here, some of us are not sleeping. We are hurrying, we are going about in the bush.
I mean, this is the fourth attack in Madagali in just 5 months, following incidents of these, attacks in October, November, and December of 2025. Security forces describe it as a joint operation by Boko Haram and ISWAP, both of whom continue to use the Sambisa forest as an operational base. Governor Fintiri visited the affected community on Wednesday to assess the damage and console grieving families, condemning what he called cowardly acts of terrorism and vowing to restore peace. I mean, Dr. Bati, 4 attacks in 5 months on the same local government area. I mean, this doesn't seem like a coincidence. It appears to be a pattern. And, it demands for more, than just condemnation from our government officials. I mean, it demands more action. I mean, we're seeing the governor's family also attacked. The governor's village also attacked. This is coming nearer home day by day. The security forces. And like I said, I'll continue to highlight these insecurity that is plaguing our nation for the security forces. I believe this whole week alone, every single day there's been a death story in Nigeria. When are we going to rest? When is that going to stop?
Because the seriousness of the problem that we face, whether you are a king or you are a village head or you are an ordinary citizen, nobody is safe. Which makes the case a strong case for this call for state police and strengthening the security agencies in the country so that they can do much better. There's something that the military have just launched. They call it Operation Savannah Shield, which is supposed to be, a combination of all the armed forces, doing a lot more in terms of. But this kind of story is tragic.
So tragic.
I mean, the average thing you can do for a citizen or for any community is the security of lives and property. People can no longer sleep peacefully in their homes, whether it's in a war. I think yesterday we had a story from a war, or it is from any other part of the country. And I think that the security agencies have their work cut out for them. And now we have a new Inspector General of Police. The primary duty that he will have will be to fulfill that mandate under the Police Act and the Constitution of ensuring the safety of lives and property.
Oji, speaking of Adamawa, it will happen again. See, another thing I want to also tell people, because I see that we are getting ahead of ourselves in this conversation about state police. We are being delusional. If you have state police, it's not going to change anything. Once you have an established culture of impunity, nothing is going to change. Because if the federal forces, there has been allegation of infiltration, how are you not sure they are going to infiltrate the state forces? Until we collectively rid our society of this level of terrorism, nothing will move further. Look at Fintiri. He has just decamped to the APC. As they are close to the center now, does it stop his state from being attacked?
No. The answer is no, Rufai. The answer is no.
Can I just make a point based on the reports that the man said? He said something around the weapons that these terrorists came in with. He was saying that if only they had better guns that could match the weapons they came with. And that makes a case for who is funding the terrorists. Where are they getting these sophisticated weapons from? We've talked about the porous borders. We've talked about proliferation of arms. But I believe that, Oji, we cannot have the conversation around fighting against terrorists if we don't go after the financiers.
Yes.
If we don't go after those who are funding because as long as there's a lifeblood for it, where people are able to buy them more sophisticated weapons that sometimes even the Nigerian military has, then we will continue to have this issue. So we cannot just say, we want to go against them. Let us go after the big ones, the ones behind it. I think that's just to mention that. And then, like Dr. Baptist said, state police, the governor himself said, we're going to fix this problem. He cannot do much. He's the chief security officer, but cannot do much.